Could a former NBA player turned broadcaster be the next head coach for the Toronto Raptors? JJ Reddick is reportedly in the running for the job, and today we're going to delve into what this could mean for the team and Reddick's potential as a head coach. Before we go further, let's step back and look at how the Raptors got to this point. This past April, the Raptors made a significant change to their coaching staff that caught some fans by surprise. Nick Nurse, the man who led the Raptors to their first NBA championship in the 2018-19 season and secured a 53-19 record the following season, earning Coach of the Year honors, was released from his duties as head coach. The decision came after a disappointing 41-41 season and a play-in loss to the Chicago Bulls. This move marked the end of a decade-long tenure for Nurse with the Raptors, who started as an assistant coach under Dwayne Casey before being promoted to the head coach in 2018. However, the team's fortune took a turn for the worse with a relocation to Tampa during the COVID-19 pandemic and a less than impressive 27-45 year. Raptors president and vice chairman Masai Ujiri acknowledged the difficulty of the decision in a statement, thanking Nurse for his contributions and stating that this decision represents an opportunity for the team to reset, refocus, and put into place the personnel and the players who will help us reach our goal of winning our next championship. The departure of Nick Nurse leaves a significant vacancy that the Raptors are keen to fill with a candidate who can carry forward the team's ambitions. This is where the potential appointment of JJ Reddick comes into the picture. It's essential to acknowledge that Reddick would not be the first former player to transition into coaching. Notable examples of successful player-turned-coaches include Steve Kerr, Jason Kidd, and Tyronn Lue. These coaches have brought their experiences and knowledge from their playing days into their coaching roles, helping them guide their teams to success. Now, Reddick might not have the same championship pedigree as some of these coaches, but his background as a sharpshooter and team player could serve him well in the coaching world. As of the 2022-2023 season, the Raptors boast a starting lineup consisting of Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Scotty Barnes. With a mix of young talents and established players, the Raptors have a solid foundation to build upon. Their roster is full of high-value defensive players, and they have several promising prospects in their ranks. However, the team is still looking to find the perfect balance of offense and defense to make a deep playoff run. This is where Reddick's expertise could come into play, particularly when it comes to shooting and spacing the floor. Now that we have a better understanding of the Raptors' current roster, let's discuss how Reddick's background as a player and broadcaster could potentially influence his coaching style and philosophy. JJ Reddick is best known for his shooting prowess, so it's reasonable to assume that he would place a strong emphasis on shooting and floor spacing in his coaching philosophy. He might also draw on his experiences playing for various coaches throughout his career, including Doc Rivers and Stan Van Gundy, to develop his own coaching style. Additionally, Reddick's time as a broadcaster and podcast host could be an asset in his coaching career. He has demonstrated strong communication skills and the ability to connect with people from various backgrounds. These traits are vital for a head coach as they need to effectively communicate their vision and game plan to their players. Throughout his career, Reddick earned a reputation as a hard worker and dedicated teammate. He consistently improved his skills and adapted his game to fit various roles on different teams. This adaptability and commitment to improvement could serve him well as a coach, as he would need to tailor his strategies to suit the strengths and weaknesses of his roster. Reddick's background as a broadcaster and podcast host has allowed him to develop relationships with various players, coaches, and other NBA personalities. These connections could prove invaluable in fostering a strong rapport with his players and staff, as well as staying informed about the latest trends and strategies in the league. Should Reddick be offered and accept the head coaching position, it would undoubtedly signal a new era for the Raptors. With a fresh voice and perspective in their coaching role, Reddick could help the team further develop its young core and potentially guide them to greater success in the coming seasons. Reddick's background as a sharpshooter and understanding of the importance of floor spacing could help the Raptors refine their offensive strategies, maximizing the talents of their roster. As the league continues to evolve, having a coach who understands modern NBA trends and can adapt accordingly is crucial. But why would the Raptors be interested in Reddick, a recently retired player with no previous coaching experience? To understand this, we need to examine his time post-retirement as a basketball analyst and successful podcaster. Upon retiring from the NBA, Reddick quickly transitioned into the world of broadcasting, showcasing his in-depth knowledge of the game, his analytical prowess, and articulate communication. He hosted the popular podcast The Old Man and the Three, where he held conversations with notable figures from the basketball world. This platform allowed him to delve into strategic aspects of the game, player mindsets, and team dynamics, providing valuable insights to listeners. Reddick's podcast isn't just about basketball analysis. It's also about leadership and fostering open dialogue. His ability to engage with his guests, listen actively, and guide the conversation demonstrates his potential as a leader, a critical skill for any successful coach. Transitioning from being a player to a broadcaster is one thing, but transitioning from a broadcaster to a head coach is quite another. Should Reddick take up the head coach mantle, there would undoubtedly be several challenges he'd have to navigate. Despite being a veteran player, Reddick has no prior coaching experience. The role of a head coach is vastly different from that of a player or broadcaster, involving not just strategizing but also managing a diverse group of players, assistants, and staff. As a first-time coach, Reddick would need to learn quickly and adapt to his new role effectively. He'd also be stepping into a situation with a Raptors team that experienced recent instability following the departure of Nick Nurse in a disappointing 41-41 season. Managing this transition and getting the team back on track would be a significant task for any coach, let alone a first-timer. That being said, the expectations would be high. The Raptors have a solid foundation with a mix of young talents and established players. The team, as well as the fans, would be expecting improvements and a return to the playoffs. Managing these expectations while trying to implement his coaching philosophy and style would be another challenge for Reddick. However, these challenges shouldn't necessarily be seen as roadblocks, but as opportunities for Reddick to prove his mettle. After all, several players have successfully transitioned into coaching roles despite similar challenges. Despite the potential difficulties, the prospect of Reddick becoming the head coach is an exciting one. With his wealth of experience as a player, his demonstrated leadership and communication skills as a broadcaster and podcast host, and his strategic understanding of the game, Reddick could potentially bring a fresh and innovative approach to the Raptors' game plan. While there are still many questions surrounding JJ Reddick's potential as a head coach, his background as a player, broadcaster, and podcast host suggests that he might have the necessary tools to succeed in this role. The Toronto Raptors could benefit from his unique perspective and experiences as they look to continue building a competitive team in the NBA. Only time will tell if Reddick will be given this opportunity and if he can indeed become a successful head coach in the league. What do you think about JJ Reddick interviewing for the Raptors head coaching position? Do you believe he has what it takes to be a successful NBA coach? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more NBA content. Until next time, stay tuned for more updates and analysis.